Hello, you are currently watching The Journey to Cần Thơ. The show airs on Cần Thơ radio and television station. I'd like to mention that I pick up a lot of knowledge from meeting and conversing with the program's guests. I discovered that I love this land and its people even more after learning their stories. I had another meeting with a very remarkable person today, a son of Cần Thơ. Let's look forward to seeing who it is.
Nhâm Hùng, an author and cultural researcher, was born in Phụng Hiệp, Hậu Giang, born into a revolutionary traditional rich household. He attended school in his hometown as a child. Having just turned 20, he enthusiastically participated in patriotic arts and journalism activities in the student struggle movement. He was taken into custody and held in the prison of Long An, Tây Ninh, and Chi Hoa. When the South had been fully liberated, he went back to work in his hometown, alternating between several cultural departments. He was the head of the Phụng Hiệp Cultural House and leader of the Hậu Giang Province Mobile Information Squad. He once created the well-known cultural boat model in Phụng Hiệp. He was Tây Đô Theatre's associate director from 1994 until his retirement in 2009. Nhâm Hùng has become a recognized name, having devoted more than half of his life to the promotion of the art and culture. He's been appointed director of numerous cultural events and designers of numerous large-scale projects for the city of Cần Thơ, including the certain folk cake festivals and Cần Thơ Spring Flower Street. Along with being a well-known author, he has edited numerous cultural publications. This covered more about the Mekong Delta floating market, the sacred land of Cần Thơ, the land and the people of Hậu Giang and Phong Điền. Throughout his life, he has traveled extensively and shared with us the splendor of the South, driven by a desire to infuse traditional beauty into contemporary cities, such as historic landmarks or rows of buildings that serve as time capsules.
I'd like to welcome you to the Thành campus, a bright and welcoming setting where we can discuss our research initiatives as well as the land and people of Cần Thơ. First, I found out that you have directed some of the biggest art projects in Cần Thơ. In what ways do you envision the city evolving as a result of those events?
Our city is expanding rapidly, both in breadth and depth, from the urban to the rural. Market street activities are usually highly busy. Rural production environments are busy. And interpersonal interactions reveal a pleasant and appealing ambience that indicates a greater level of life. All serve as evidence of the National Delta City's capacity for development. It is the hub of the Mekong Delta.
Which of those programs caught your attention the most?
I have overseen numerous art programs and significant events as general directors for the last 20 years. It was the 2003 Mekong Delta Tourism Festival, which I will always remember. 2008 saw the announcement of the Cultural Festival of the Khmer ethnic people, as well as the Year of National Tourism to the Mekong River Garden. In addition, there are the National Đơn Ca Tài Tử Festival, the Certain Folk Cake Festival, and most recently, the overall plan for the art program honoring the 20th anniversary of Cần Thơ becoming a century-run city.
Which of those programs caught your attention the most?
The program that announced 2008 as the National Tourism Year left me with certain sensation. Cần Thơ brought together 800 actors in an area spanning the embankment of the Hậu River for the first time, drawing participation from 14 units from towns and provinces, establishing a street event with over 100,000 spectators in addition to linking the stage. The thing that impressed me the most was that event. There was also the city's 10th anniversary, which was celebrated at the city stadium in front of 30,000 spectators and 2,000 performers and athletes. There were military parades, which created a lively environment and made everyone pleased for Cần Thơ to become a century-run city for 10 years. I'll always remember those moments.
The 20th anniversary of Cần Thơ becoming the centrally run city is a highly significant event in our city. You will undoubtedly play a significant part for someone with experience, right?
Yes, it is correct. Starting in early 2023, I wrote the literary and overall script that include various performances, tableaus, amateurs music, Hò Cần Thơ, and other activities to essentially commemorate the 20th anniversary of Cần Thơ becoming a century-run city. I anticipated that in addition to serving the public, this art program will have a lot of unique and usual elements to commemorate the city's 20th anniversaries in terms of culture and arts.
Could you then disclose a few of the arts included in that anniversary program?
The scene Pearl brightens the soul of the countryside, concerning Cần Thơ folk songs, lullabies, amateur music, and cải lương theater, was one of the performances that I directly wrote. I also write commentary for the entire show. For example, I created poetry like Cần Thö's 20 brilliant flower seasons that people can set to music. These contributions, in my opinion, are neither significant nor small, but they will help to create a worldwide program, a characteristic, a distinct charm that makes Cần Thơ.
Let's take a sip of tea to continue the story. I am aware that in addition to becoming a director, you are involved in research projects and have written books and articles about the people and geography of Cần Thơ. When it comes to Cần Thơ, Mr. Nhâm Hùng has done a great deal of research. Could you then tell us about your research initiatives?
In addition to my artistic endeavors, I have a strong commitment to researching and publishing books on the history, culture, geography, and people of Cần Thơ. Almost 20 books about Cần Thơ. Books like Cần Thơ Old Streets with Ancient Feature, initially learning about Cần Thơ places, and Cần Thơ street names are a few examples. The public has responded well to the book Mekong Delta Floating Market, which has a very high circulation. In terms of research, we also left our imprint on projects like the biography of the late novelist Mộc Quán Nguyễn Trọng Quyền, the professional lives of prominent writers and artists in Cần Thơ, including Tám Danh, Bảy Nhiêu, Điêu Quyền, and others. These studies aid in the production of a book that is available to the general public. Furthermore, I am involved in research projects and themes related to the Cái Răng floating market, Vietnamese lullabies in Cần Thơ, and folk songs from Cần Thơ. Each of these pieces is acknowledged as part of the country's intangible cultural heritage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an overall of the land and people of Cần Thơ, thanks to more than 20 study projects, research projects, books, and newspapers written by cultural researcher and author Nhâm Hùng. I have a book called Cần Thơ Old Town with Ancient Features, written by Mr. Nhâm Hùng in my hands. Could you give this book a brief synopsis?
Trong cái cuốn sách này thì chúng tôi
This was put together and released in 2017. It focuses on the procedures and a synopsis of Cần Thö's history from the start until the early 20th anniversary. Trấn Giang was the name given to Cần Thơ in 1739. Trấn Giang served as the original administrative center of the Cần Thơ urban area, until the Nguyễn dynasty established Phong Phú district, which means Cần Thơ. Ninh Kiều Wharf was established by the province of Cần Thơ during the French colonial era. The Cần Thơ urban area was first known as Tây Đô, and it evolved gradually. I also went over some other places like Cái Răng, Bình Thủy, Ô Môn, and Phong Điền. Cần Thơ or Tây Đô is the center of the Mekong River Garden, which has been home to various cultural and civilizational traits since ancient time. The book Cần Thơ Old Streets with Ancient Features contains all of them.
This book has a lot of worthwhile and fascinating information. Where do you find the drive to conduct research when you should be resting because of your age?
First, my passion for my hometown, Cần Thơ, inspired me to conduct research. The second is a deep appreciation for the art and culture, as well as Southern culture. In order for future generations to be aware of Cần Thơ, I wish to write, study, conduct research, and publish books. What does the concept of Cần Thơ, for instance, mean? What is meant by Cái Răng? Ninh Kiều Wharf was born when? The younger generation has to be taught everything through books and study projects. People continue to inherit and be inspired to appreciate certain culture and the hometown of Cần Thơ more and more. These are the things that spur me on the complete books and research task.
You mentioned the Southern culture. Can you share more about this issue?
Despite being a relatively new region, Southern culture has its distinct personality and influence. Instances of the Cần Thơ and Southern cultures and lifestyles. Characteristics of the Cần Thơ and Southern cultures: diligence, fidelity, bravery, and the audacity to think and act. In particular, showing kindness and generosity. These are the people, notably the Cần Thơ people of the South. What other contexts does Southern culture appear in? In attire. For instance, the black and white scarf and the baba shirt both exhibit traits of certain women that are instantly recognizable. When it comes to art and culture, we can discuss the Southern region or Cần Thơ. Đơn ca tài tử and cải lương are two topics that need to be covered. I want to stress how distinctive and typical the Hò Cần Thơ is. Since we must all grow up from our mom's lullabies, we must protect and spread Southern culture and traditional values to everyone. These beliefs have shaped our lives and growth for hundreds of years, and they will always guide us.
Chi dầu cầu Giang Đông Đinh, cầu tre lắc lẻo gặp gình khó đi.
A grandmother or mother can nurture a child's compassion, human morality, and most importantly, their love for their native place by singing them lullabies. Rhymes and lullabies have been used by migrants to communicate their ideas and aspirations since the start of their voyage to open up the southern region. The arcs might be exuberant and passionate at times, or they can be simple, cheerful, thrill, and natural. The treasure trove of Vietnamese folk songs include numerous types of certain folk melodies. These consist of rhymes, poetry, chants, and lullabies. Certain folk songs are unique in that they're written in the riverine area, where the ground is fertile and the fruit trees are lush, kind, and impulsive. Folk music from the south frequently evokes nostalgic feelings and the grandeur of landscapes and river. Farmers frequently sing to release the stress of their jobs, attempt to work hard and embrace the world around them. They also sing to communicate their ideas and feelings and to bemoan their fate.
Tôi xa mình thời một bữa mà tôi bưng chén cơm tôi khóc ròng.
Certain folk songs hold a special place in the hearts and thoughts of the people who live here, having developed over hundreds of years. Vietnamese traditional tunes are being preserved with increased effort in the current social flow. The melodies that our ancestors have been passing down for hundreds of years are becoming more and more popular among the younger generation, together with the mass art performance of certain folk music. This helps to preserve and promote the rich cultural momentum of national identity.
Talking to you as a young person has taught me a lot. Is there anything you would like to impart to the next generation through this?
I have some messages I'd want to share with the youth. Naturally, living in the modern world requires a quick pace. However, I suggest that you take some time to calm down and enjoy some quiet time. In particular, I suggest that you read books to learn more about the history, culture, and geography of earlier generations. Our predecessors, who toiled so hard to create the land that is now Cần Thơ. Methods for increasing people's passion for their country and exposure to traditional culture, including teaching them about the cultural history of the Cần Thơ region and its people through books. One can only love by understanding. Saying you love your country means that you must love the birds, the grass, the tree branches, the fish in the river, and everything else. To do this, we need to be knowledgeable about the culture and to read, learn, watch, and listen for it to be assimilated by each individual and last forever.
The Journey to Cần Thơ program would like to express its gratitude to Mr. Nhâm Hùng for accepting the offer to take part in the program and share about the people and lands of Cần Thơ.
I'm thrilled to be a part of this program, and perhaps more programs like this one about human land culture will be available in the future. How we can educate more people about the Mekong Delta in our city, particularly the youth.
I would like to thank Mr. Nhâm Hùng and the guests on behalf of the individuals who make the program for the love and support of the people and lands of Cần Thơ. Let us on keep promoting the wonderful aspects of lovely Cần Thơ land. We would like to part ways with you now. I'll see you in the upcoming programs.